Good day everyone, my name is Jonalyn G. Padua and I am here today to discuss the Chapter 2 in Basic Research Methods for Librarian. So today we will have our topic in Basic Research Methods for Librarians, Chapter 2, Developing the Research Study. First is Planning for Research. The first question that a researcher may well ask is, where do I begin? In other words, where does the planning begin? Planning for research can help to think ideas and techniques that can help in your research.
Deductive or systematic logic was developed by Aristotle.
Historically, new knowledge has been sought either by means of deductive logic or through the use of inductive reasoning.
In contrast, the deductive logic and inductive reasoning proceeds from particular instances to general principles, or form of facts to theories. Leddy and Ormrod state that by asking questions, we strike the first spark, igniting a chain reaction that leads to research process. An inquisitive mind is the beginning of research. Next is the scientific method of inquiry. Inductive reasoning contributed to the development of what is known as the scientific method or the scientific method of inquiry.
A general outline for research and general criteria for basic research. In general outline for research, the investigator typically begins with a question about something of interest. Having identified the specific research problem, the researcher should then attempt to place the problem in its broader theoretical framework. In a general outline for research, there are 6 research cyclical processes.
These are the 4 general criteria for basic research that can help to improve by doing basic research, and it can also be the guide for you. And also, there is a checklist for planning a research study,
including the following: scope and definition of study, hypothesis or question to be answered, definitions, method of study, design, sampling, criteria factors, interpretation of results, and preparing the report. Identification of the problem. Or as Leddy and Ormrod stated, the heart of every research project is the problem. It is a paramount in importance to the success of research effort. But given the primary importance of identifying a problem before conducting research, where and how are problems found? The answer to the first part of this question is that problems are all around us. As you can see, the following titles that listed are the specific titles can suggest new topics for research. Characteristic of the problem. It is important to study and know the characteristic of the problem in order for you to find the possible solution. Statement of the problem. Statement of the problem must be clear and understandable for you to know and have knowledge to the topic you choose. Identifying sub-problems. It is important to identify sub-problems in order for a researcher to manage the general or the cause of a certain problem. Next is the role of theory in the design of research. Before taking up assumption and the hypothesis, we should consider the role of theory in the design of a research study. Meta-theory can be seen as the philosophy behind the theory. It is the fundamental set of ideas about how phenomena of interest in particular field should be researched. A definition of theory is a systematic explanation for the observation that relate to a particular aspect of life. Next is theory construction also requires that the person developing the theory have a true understanding of the already accepted facts and theories of the field in questions. Last is testing the theory. Once a theory has been developed, the next requisite step is to test it. Theory testing involves determining how well each of its theorems and related proposition holds up in one more test. The second major steps in scientific method of inquiry is formulating hypothesis. It includes definition of hypothesis, source of hypothesis, developing the hypothesis. To have some background and knowledge, there is the definition of the three mentioned above. It also includes variables, concept, desirable characteristic of hypothesis, and follow their definitions. Last is validity and reliability. So what is validity and reliability? As one develops and conducts a research study, one should always be considered with its validity and reliability. We should always be aware to those information. We will always be information seeker in order for us to know if this information are valid and where it came from. Validity of research design. Validity is a multi-faceted word or concept, and there are at least three types of validity as it relates to the design of research. We also have validity in measurement, where data collection instrument may be high in reliability and low in validity. Next is logical validity. Logical validity is a type of validity generally based on expert judgment. It includes content validity and phase validity. Empirical validity. Concurrent validity indicates the degree to which the scores on our test or other data collection instrument are related to the scores. Next is construct validity. The definition of construct validity sounds like the definition for phase validity, in that construct validity represent the extent to which an instrument measures the concept or conduct that is intended to measure. Reliability of research design. If the design of a research study must be reliable, then its findings should be repeatable or replicable and generalizable beyond the one study. Reliability in measurement. As we stated earlier, research requires that one be able to measure concept and construct as represented by variables, which often are translated into or operationally defined as a set of categories or scale. And lastly, scales. There are the general considered to be four types of measurement scales: nominal scales, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. That would be all for today. Another chapter has been discussed and I have learned a lot. Hopefully, as we further discuss the chapters that has been left, I can learn more and apply those things I learned in the future. Once again, I am Jonalyn G. Padua, Blessed 3A.